Hello, friends! Thank you, Halo Banshee, for the reminder to take care of us. I have my tea, my iced tea. I swear, I adjust my camera every time before I go live, and then it always feels like it's in the wrong position. Also, my hair is very foofy today. I only somewhat apologize for that because it's beyond my control. Hey, Pi! Hey, Halo, how are you? What is up? I'm a little late today, but not as late as I was yesterday. I didn't have to run out at the last minute and get a package and frantically unpack it. So there's that. Oh golly, but I don't even have Word open, which is probably a bad sign for a writing stream. Foofy hair's best hair. Oh, thank you, Halo. Yeah, when you have naturally curly hair, like I do. This isn't like, it looks better if I take my headphones off actually, because it falls into the right spot. But my hair curls naturally. I don't do anything to this to make it do this. I just spray it in the morning when I don't wash my hair. I spray it with like a little spritz and just brush it into place. And when I wash it, I just let it dry, and it does this all on its own. But as it's getting warmer, as summer is upon us, it does start to get a bit foofy. Have you ever seen that episode of Friends where, like, they go to Jamaica and Monica's hair just goes, like, fully foofy? That's me. That happens to me in the summer as well. Yeah, so I didn't have to run and grab any packages at the last minute today, so that was nice. Actually, I actually feel on top of my writing today, which is either a good sign or bad. I never know if that's a good sign, because, like, I don't know, you can get distracted at the drop of a hat. So, hey, Woof! I'm wondering if Shagraz is going to show up today, because I did mention yesterday that I was going to be writing in the Maids universe, which I know is a subject near and dear to Shagraz's heart. So we'll see. We'll see if he comes to sass me. The page is blank. The page is blank. In fact, I haven't even saved this document yet, because I was ill-prepared for the stream. So let's do that. Story number 7 of 22 stories in 2022. Always save first and save often. Doing okay, just reading Ranger's Apprentice while watching your stream and while waiting for my significant other to call. Well, I hope you're having a chill whatever time it is for you, Halo. Also, I hope that your significant other calls soon. I had a little bit of a text exchange with my hubs over lunch. There was some talk in the Discord of maybe a special event happening tonight, but I think they're gonna do it on Sunday instead. I guess Core Keeper had an Easter event that they uploaded, but it looks like it's gonna be there over the weekend. So almost 11 p.m. Oh gosh, it's quite late for you, Halo. I didn't realize. Are you writing the script for the Maids dating game? No, because it wouldn't be canon within the multiverse, and I did say that I had to make all of the stories. I was going to try to make all of the stories in the 22 Stories project be canon. I kind of regret that now because I had a moment where I was like, so for anyone who hasn't been introduced, oh, you're in the UK. Okay, Halo, that's awesome. Do you mind if I ask, you don't have to answer, this is not me trying to, like, dox you or anything, but, around what area in the UK, do you live? Because, Ghost and I lived for a while in Bracknell. It was only for a year, but those were our stomping grounds. I'm just wondering if you're in the greater London area, or, we also hung out in Portsmouth a lot because we have friends there. Did we have this conversation before? If we did have this conversation before, I apologize. I can hold on to all the information of, like, my worlds and stories, but the mundane world slips through my fingers like an eel. So I apologize if I asked you this already. Honestly, this is a Megan moment too. And probably too, because now that you mention it, I do recall talking a bit about us being in the UK. It's because it's names, right? The name of place names, people names, names just don't stick in my head. And at least with people, I have like faces and like handles and colors and stuff I can associate them. If I don't have like a clear picture of a place, sometimes I just don't. I'm like, okay, that's the place. Right. Oh, yeah. Walks around where you live and up where you are now. I do remember. Now that you mention it, it is coming back to me. I apologize. I do repeat questions and information quite often in case no one has noticed. But I'm kind of regretting my decision to make everything in the 22 stories in 2022 canon, because some of you might remember, if any of you follow Cauliflumps, that last year for Cauliflumps' birthday, we sort of delved very tangentially into the Maids universe. The Maids universe is a working title that I have for one of the settings in my multiverse. It actually is a story about a demon war, but Maids is how I remember it, and is how I had it written down, and is how people saw it, and what people have latched on to, so that's how we refer to it. Because it does take place in a house where the main character has a group of maids that are significant to the story. Male maids, in this case. Maids, not butlers, because anime tropes. And when we delved into this universe a little bit using the very insane, how did I get something on my very clean keyboard already, yo? I dislike this. It's a fuzz. And I'm gonna hit the 7 key a bunch here. Ignore it. I got the fuzz. We used the amazing, crazy Maid RPG mechanics to do this roleplay. And my lovely husband, Ghost Pepper, decided that he was going to play a character that spoke with a pirate accent, except for whenever he spoke to the master. Then he spoke with a British accent, with like a really posh British accent instead. And it was amazing, and also he was super drunk. But he told me afterwards that his plan was for his character to, like, worship a kraken god that he was trying to get the master to worship for, like, the bad end. And it would just be so amazing to write a story about that character, like, interacting with their kraken god. But it wouldn't be canon in the multiverse. So I'll have to save it. I'll have to save it for after. I'll probably write it someday, but I'll have to save it for after 2022. Because the 22 stories in 2022 is, for canon stories, which I'm a little bit sad about now, but we'll see. I'll keep it there in reserve. I always have a couple. I kind of have a notebook with ideas that I sometimes use, and sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I had that idea, and then I don't think of it again until the next time I look at the notebook. But so that's not the story we're gonna write today, sadly, because it wouldn't be canon. But I did say that I was going to use the Maid universe for this particular story, because we're going to. Sorry, my train of thought just went completely derailed and took off in the other direction. The prompt for today is, you know what they say about family. So, it's a long ride for this one, I think. But the scene that I want to feature today is one of the maids in the household, the head maid, Sibel, who used to be a member of high society. He sort of retreated into he sort of retreated into managing someone else's household because he didn't want to deal with his own problems for various reasons. And at a certain point throughout the story, he decides that he wants to become more romantically involved with the main character, who won't be appearing in this story, but is the master of the house. But in order to do that, in order for the two of them to become more romantically involved, he has to sort of make his way back into high society, where all of the people in high society are, of course, going to judge him for all these various things, from how he spent the last several years of his life to how he looks, how he acts, things that happened a decade ago that he doesn't want to think about. So it's sort of him coming to terms with the fact that this unpleasant side to his life sort of exists. And then one of the other maids in the house, Elian, also comes from high society and also sort of ran away to work in another person's household because he wanted to escape that same feeling of pressure and that same constant judgment. And he's actually specifically hiding from his family. Probably. I haven't entirely decided why yet. Jay Chili, how are you, my friend? I heard you weren't feeling well. Are you feeling any better? You're here to hear about the maids, in time to hear about the maids stuff that I'm going to be writing today. So I haven't decided 100% for sure yet, but I'm pretty sure that Elian is hiding from his family because they want him to get married. Yeah, the story that I'm writing today is going to take place in the Maids universe. It's going to be canon. So I think Elian's family wants him to do the whole, like, firstborn noble son. I don't know that he's a firstborn noble son, but I think they want him to do the, like, get married, have an heir, like, we will choose who you marry and what your whole life is sort of thing, and he was having none of that. So he ran away to hide in the master's household. And so now it's sort of this bonding moment between Sibel, who is currently the head maid of the house, training Elian to sort of take his position because he's going to have to step out of that role and back into high society. And sort of this bonding moment between the two of them over how much high society can really suck. Thank you for shouting out Jay Chili. For those of you who don't know, Joe doesn't necessarily do writing streams yet, but he is an author and his books are on Amazon. And if you want to share a link, Jay Chili, please do. He doesn't stream writing, but he does stream a whole bunch of other stuff. I know he's played Elden Ring, The Last of Us. He does lots of story-oriented games, some dating sims, which I approve. I know you did Dream Daddy. Did you do Boyfriend Dungeon as well? I can't remember. I know you did Sucker for Love, which I don't know if you heard, but we understand now why you rage quit that game. It took two of us working in tandem to beat the end of that game. Boyfriend Dungeon was really good. Yeah, we haven't finished it yet. We have to finish the second dungeon and get through we kind of did half of everyone's plots. It's hard for us to do that game on stream because for those that don't know, sometimes Ghost and I play dating sims on stream. Boyfriend Dungeon is hard because we can't both play it at the same time because I suck at the dungeon compared to him. What I should really do is just, like, grind the levels off stream so that we can play more of it, but I know, well, I understand now why you hated Sucker for Love. That last chapter was really something. I gave up on it because I could not navigate the mechanics, but I was able to help Ghost navigate the mechanics to get the ending. So, But yeah, how have you been, Joe? What's up? So that's kind of the lowdown rundown on what I'm going to be writing today. As usual, I have no real idea how long or short this will be. I don't necessarily... I have a vague idea of what I want to write, but I don't necessarily have a massive plan today. Sometimes last week I really did. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted to write and exactly, like, what I wanted the dialogue to be and where I wanted the scene to start and end. This week I have just sort of a very loose idea with a few things. And of course the prompt is, you know what they say about family, so I want that line to appear in the story. I want it to be part of the conversation that comes up, but aside from that, I really don't have a plan. So I even thought the earlier chapters were really depressing for dating sim. I mean, it is... Sucker for Love is Lovecraftian. It's like a Lovecraftian horror dating sim. So it's definitely a certain type of tone. For me, I have a very dark sense of humor, so it was like perfect for me, but I can definitely see how it might seem depressing if you don't have that particular sense of humor. It was very much Eldritch horror. I've been really under the weather this week, so I haven't accomplished much. I mean, you gotta take care of yourself if you're not feeling well, which I hope that you've been doing. And I do hope you feel better. Yeah, I know Flutter was feeling under the weather over the weekend as well, but she streamed earlier in the week, so I'm assuming she's doing better. Okay. I have everything set up here. How is before I start the sprint timer, can anybody tell me how's the music level to the voice level? Do you want me to turn the music down a little bit, or is everybody happy with how the sound is coming through compared to my talking? Just want to make sure that if the music needs adjusting, I do that before I hit the sprint timer. I'm gonna be doing 20 minutes of clicky clacks here. We'll see how steadily it flows. Some days are better. Some days are better than others when it comes to these. I like this music. I don't usually listen to the same music as on stream because I usually put on white noise, but on writing prompt days, I don't have like a specific type of white noise set aside for writing those, so I usually just listen to whatever I've got playing. Tempest, hello! Is that human music like from Rick and Morty? Well, I don't know much about Rick and Morty. I watched like 2 episodes of it, so I don't know if I can answer that question. I can tell you that it's, the music I'm playing is from Owned. Spelled like that with a 3 for the E. That's on Spotify. I think I can show it. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know if there's any... I guess it just shows my username, but it's this Owned music. We're currently listening to Edie's stream. Hello, Marathnon. I'm gonna assume, since no one said anything, that everyone's happy with the sound level. If you're not happy with the sound level, you have 1 minute to speak your piece. At 3 o'clock, I'm gonna start the sprint timer. And be quiet and clicky-clacky for 20 minutes. Which I guess is what y'all come for anyway, so... Hello and farewell, gonna go to sleep. Well, Marathon, I hope you sleep well. If you are gonna be lurking for a few minutes, maybe my clicky clacks will lull you off into slumber, hopefully. Alright, I said 3 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. Let's have clicky clacks. Let there be clicky clacks. That's one hell of a sentence. But not a run-on sentence, which is important. He hexpected. Somehow I feel like writing high society balls is going to be taken out of context no matter what I do. Yes, I await the clip. A word just flew out of my head. What is it? High society balls? Yes, that's what we're talking about. Hey, roaming witch, how are you? What are you up to? Yep, high society balls. That's what we're writing about right now. High society balls. Browse. Said it like 20 times now, so there's gonna be like 6 clips. Woof. Which eye is Sibel missing? The right one or the left? Okay. Words are not cooperating with me today. Oh yeah, this comes out on Monday, by the way, if anyone's wondering. I meant to say that before I started writing. Lol. Well, it's the right one now. It's not rare. Infrequent. There's a word that means like not popular. No. Like something that most people don't have to think about. Why can't I brain today? Yes! Roaming witch, thank you! That's exactly the word! Yeah, like something... Yeah, like an irregular accessory. Because he's looking for... The character's looking for an eye patch, right? So something that is like... Not everybody wears that, but it's not like weird or unique. It's just something that would be harder to find, right? Irregular is perfect. Oh, don't throw it out, Roaming Witch. Keep it in a separate document. You can put it on your blog someday. It can be a bonus scene, or put it in a newsletter. Don't delete it. I mean, remove it if you have to, but don't delete it. Okay, good. As long as you have a record of it, that's the important thing. Again, with words and me not getting along today. contrast. Why did it take me so long to think of the word contrast? Oh, the timer's up. I stopped. That's 729 words with a bit of inadvertent cheating, I guess, because I didn't realize the timer had come to a close. Some of those words were like pulling teeth, but I'm still pretty happy with how the scene has started. What did I miss? I heard balls. Reminds me of AC/DC song. Oh yeah, there was one song back further that was a bit heavy metal-y. I love AC/DC, especially older AC/DC. Seeking in some writing at work because I don't have much to do for the last half hour. Nice! I won't tell anyone if you won't tell anyone, Roaming Witch. At least nothing I want to do. Hey, usually writers procrastinate by not writing, so if you're procrastinating by writing, I think you're doing something right. When you write like 5 paragraphs before realizing the little excursion your character went on isn't necessary, but I like what I wrote. I had to ruthlessly cut several paragraphs yesterday when I was doing edits, and it may have looked like I just casually highlighted a bunch of paragraphs and hit the delete key, but there was definitely some pain involved in the process. I mean, it's important to recognize when something's not serving the story and deal with it accordingly, but it's never fun. It's never fun to remove something that you wrote. This song is called Pesto Beat. Okay. The names of some of these songs are so random. There's one called Hey with 2 Y's. There's one called Fun Fact Business. There's one called Desperate Tomato. I mean, I guess it's just, you know, like free for streaming music. They didn't strain themselves naming it, but like... There's one called No Chance for You, Sorry. Oh, when you said recycle bin, I thought you meant like the computer recycle bin, and I was like, oh no, don't delete it. At some point there will be a section talking about little chut spirits stealing eggs and handkerchiefs because I want this in my life. That sounds cool. I don't know what a chut spirit is, but it reminds me of the little forest spirits in is it Princess Mononoke? That's what it is. Here's a hydrate. Hello, Al. How are you? I said, how are you? Oh my goodness. Why are words so hard today, you guys? It's because it's Thursday. For those that don't know, I've mentioned this before, but Thursday afternoon is like my last major writing thing of the week. After this, I won't be like doing anything that involves like majorly thinking about putting words together. So my brain is just reaching the end of its ability to like coherently think about what words should be put together. So half the time when I'm trying to think of a word, my brain's just like, whatever, I don't care. And I'm like, but I do. Give me the word. Like those. Okay, Chut is the name I came up with. I figured maybe they were a personal creation. That's so cool though. I love those little forest spirits and the little soot spirits in Spirited Away too. They're a little bit different, obviously. They don't have the like heads that move, but I love all the little creatures in all the Miyazaki stuff are so cute. Just cute little things. Yes. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Like I said, it's Thursday afternoon and my brain has decided it hates words now. But aside from that, it's going pretty good. I've gotten a lot done this week, which I'm pleased about. The edits for my main novel, which I do Mondays and Wednesdays, have been going really well. I'm really happy with the changes that I made this week, because there was definitely some what felt like lack of tension in this portion of the novel. So I've gone through and just sort of changed the order that some of the information happens in to sort of change the tone. So the story is exactly the same, but the tone is a little bit more intense, which I'm enjoying. I'm happy about. AJ, hello! I didn't get to say much to you yesterday. How are you? Time to go steal the fiancé away from work. Good luck, Roaming Witch. Take care. Hopefully see you later. But yeah, so I did some of that editing on stream. And I rewrote a scene from another character's perspective, which was hard, but it's been working out really well. I'm really happy with how the story is coming together quite a bit better than it was before. So I just have, I think, one more really important scene to tweak for that. And then once I get to the end, like the next part of that storyline, it's a lot of action stuff, which I hate to say will be easier, but it definitely doesn't need as much deep scrutiny and cleverness. So it'll give my brain a little bit of a break. But yeah, it's been a good week. I'm really happy with how my writing is going. I am well. Yesterday was crazy with all the nature stuff. Yeah, I remember you saying, didn't you say that there were like tons of thunderstorm warnings and stuff in your area? Like flood and... Was that you? Was that you who had all the crazy nature things going on? I hope today has been calmer. maybe sunny. It was a flood, thunderstorm, and tornado. Yeah, I remember you saying that. That is crazy, all in one day. I mean, thunderstorms leading to flood and tornado is, like, I guess kind of how it works. But dang, like, if you have to deal with all that stuff at one go, that's a lot. That's a lot of stress in a short time frame. Oh, for anyone who's wondering, for anyone who was here at the end of yesterday's stream... I did feed Ghost. I made the chicken broccoli cheese bread. After my stream, we went and got it in the oven together, and then he was fed and very, very well satiated. So that happened. I can assure you all that as chat voted, it was completed. It was done. He seemed very pleased with the meal. I have a tornado warning drill. I just sit in the hallway eating candy and watching videos until the predicted time passes. I mean, at least you know, at least you have like an established place to go and a routine. I mean, I'm sure it's still a disruption to your day, but I feel like I would do that too. I feel like if there was a tornado warning, I would also eat candy until it passed. But Ghost was telling me, I don't know how true this is, but Ghost was telling me that tornadoes actually can't happen in our area because it's too mountainy. So we have a couple times seen the striated clouds that usually precede a tornado, but apparently they can't come to ground here because there's not enough space, I guess. I guess that's how it works. Like the shape of the land, like prevents it from actually forming the tornado. I'm not gonna lie, I'm with all of the other, like, weather things that we have to worry about in this area, I'm not sad to have one that can't happen. Because, you know, we get forest fires and shit in our area. But that I thought that was interesting that like it just can't complete the process apparently. You have a funny story for yesterday? Or for before specific tornado drill? Tell us the story, AJ. I'm trying to decide if I should make tea now or if I should wait. I feel like I should maybe do it now. Part of me is like, I should get another sprint in, but I'm never sure how long these are gonna be. Before the weather alert, I was having a bit of a me day. I was having a nice bath and eating takis. Ooh, I don't know what that is. I hear the sound, look over, and just takis everywhere. This is the worst spot to be. Oh crud, oh crud. I'm rushing to get dressed. Oh no! Then afterward I was picking bits of takis off the floor from the bathtub. Oh, they're hot chips. Okay, okay. I'm sorry that it interrupted your bath, because that sounds like it was divine. Oh no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't yawn. Maybe that's a sign I should have tea, though, because there's caffeine in the tea. I'm gonna be having the second steep of my oat milk latte. Maybe I'll go make the tea now, because I can go grab my new tea tin and show you guys my cute little new tea tin that I got. I was just running around the house saying, oh crud, because it's like the only swear word I can say. Why? Why is it the only swear word you can say? There's so many swear word options. I, of course, like to swear, in case you guys haven't noticed. Just checking out my Amazon package to see if any of my new stuff is coming today. I ordered myself a new keyboard for my iPad, because I don't know if anyone remembers, but yesterday when I had my iPad set up to do the white noise, it was just beeping like crazy. I don't think you guys could hear it because I had my headphones on. It was just beeping like crazy, and it did it again this afternoon, like, well, right before noon, so I guess it was morning, but I went to do my yoga and it just started beeping like mad because it doesn't accept the keyboard anymore. So anytime I try to set it up in like its case, it just flips out and is like accessory not supported. So I ordered myself a new third-party keyboard and case to go with it that hopefully won't do this, because the one that I have is an Apple one, and it just doesn't like it. Anyway, I'm hoping that it will come this weekend so that I don't have to deal with the beeping anymore, but it looks like it's still at least a day or two away. I have what I call angelic filters, which involve certain words. Oh. Alcohol stronger than wine coolers, and thoughts. I can't say any swearing or stuff deemed tainted. I only drink Seagram's wine coolers, and I can't think about destroying the world for more than 2 seconds. I mean, I feel like not thinking about destroying the world for more than 2 seconds is fair. I probably should think less about destroying the world, or, you know, post-apocalyptic scenarios. I feel like that would be healthier for me. I'm curious as to why you have the swear and alcohol bans, though. Humanity does destroy everything. It's true. It is true. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go put the kettle on, but Ghost and I have been watching this show called No Reservations by Anthony Bourdain, and we watched an episode where he went to Brittany, and in Brittany they're really well known for a lot of local fish, local oysters, and sardines. They fish sardines out of the bay. And so a bunch of tourists come to buy local produce from Brittany, right? To buy something local from Brittany. And because it's easy and portable, they buy these little little tins of sardines. But it turns out that the ones that the tourists buy, the sardines that the tourists buy, aren't local to Brittany. They're imported. They're like mass produced elsewhere and imported specifically because the tourists buy them. So the tourists go to buy something that's local, and they end up buying something that's not only not local, but only mass produced because, like, and imported because the tourists buy it. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, the people go there because they want something that's from that area, and they don't even leave with something that's from that area because they just buy the first thing they see that looks quick and convenient. I was like, why are we so dumb? Why are we as a species so dumb? I grew up watching videos full of swearing and alcohol. I even played GTA 5 and loved the plotline. I mean, to me personally, I feel like swearing, like, at people, like, swearing in a person's face is obviously bad. I won't argue that. But just, like, casually cursing, like, just saying swear words. I say fuck all the time. As long as you're not, like, directing it at someone or meaning to, like, demean someone with it, I think it's fine. I think words mean what we want them to mean, right? So a bad word is only a bad word if you use it in a bad way. But I can see I didn't drink much alcohol in my life until recently. Gordon Ramsay's hilarious because he's like that. Like, he doesn't curse, like, he doesn't curse to curse at people. It's just his personality. We watched a show where he traveled around and, like, tried local foods, and at the end of the week he would have to, like, cook something for the locals. And he just he cusses to himself. When there's, like, no one else to hear, his thing that he always says is, fuck me. So it's like, of course, when he did Kitchen Nightmares and Hell's Kitchen in America, they asked him to play that up for the cameras. But I think it's just because when he is just being himself, he just cusses lightly. An idiot sandwich. This idiot sandwich is going to go put the kettle on and make some tea. I'm going to make my oat milk latte tea. And then we're going to do another sprint because that's what y'all are here for. Have you seen his grilled cheese video? I don't think I have. I did see the idiot sandwich thing, though. BRB, guys. Don't forget to stand up, stretch, get a drink, use the restroom, all the things. We promised Halo at the beginning of stream. In fact, I'm going to do a free stretch because we promised Halo at the beginning of stream that we would remember to hydrate and stretch and take care of ourselves. So I am going to do that. BRB. Okay, tea is steeping, and I'm gonna show you guys some of my tea tins because we need just a few minutes for the tea to steep, but not enough to do a sprint. So, alright. The comment section is better than the video itself. I'll have to look it up. Grilled cheese, Gordon Ramsay grilled cheese video. Okay, so this is the one I mentioned before. Look, it's a cute little octopus. This is my brand new, this just came yesterday. No, Tuesday. Caribbean Crush. It's a sort of tropical tea blend that I like to drink iced. And they made this specialty tin for it. So I bought that. Are you going to do a reaction on stream? I want to put this VOD on YouTube, so I might not do a reaction today. But if you want, I can wait until next week to do it on a VOD that's not necessarily going to go on YouTube. I just don't want it to get flagged on YouTube. But I could do it on Monday. Okay, I won't watch it. I'll wait until you come hang out on Monday, AJ, and I'll do it then. This is my sloth tin. Isn't it cute? This holds my maple oolong tea. I don't know if you can see it in there. And the clouds have smiley, I don't know if you can see, the clouds have smiley faces on them. It's so cute. That's one of my favorite ones. This is one of my most recent ones, the new Halloween tin. These are all from David's Tea. This has my, I believe my dark chocolate orange is in here. So I got that for Halloween. I do have a YouTube. There's not much there, but I do put the VODs from the stories. The 22 stories on there. So if anyone ever wants to watch one of my 22 stories in 2022, if you missed it, they're all up there. Also, my project update and my Make Your OTP stream is on there, and my day planner stuff is on there. I don't put anything that has novel spoilers up there. But there are a few select things. So this one will go up on YouTube because it's for the 22 stories. And then I have, this is my other Halloween tin. Oops. This is my Stormy Night tea. It's a castle, and it's got some silver on there, so that's why it's so sparkly. And it has bats. So that was one of, they only do them for like a year, and then they don't bring them back. So I've collected a few. This is my monster tin. This is my juicy orange, which is like Lady Grey, like Lady Grey, only it's loose leaf. Oh, it smells so good. You can see the big orange peel chunks in there. It's my little monster. And then this tin isn't as exciting. It's just the plain. I got this for being part of the. I got the tin. I put the label on myself. It's taped on in case you can't tell. But I got the tin for being part of their subscription service for a year. But this is what I'm drinking today. This is the oat milk latte. Ooh. It's hard to get the lid off of this one. Hang on. This is the oat milk latte. So this is what I'm drinking today, right now. And what I drank yesterday. Oh, it smells so good. It's got apple, roasted mate, gluten-free oats, fennel, coconut rasps, natural cream and coffee flavors, rooibos, black tea, coriander, brittle pieces, which have sugar and hazelnut, carob, coffee leaves, not coffee beans, but coffee leaves, roasted chicory root, which I believe is supposed to taste a lot like coffee, and black tea extract. And it's super good. It tastes, how you would imagine an oat milk latte tastes if you went and ordered, if you went to a coffee shop and ordered a latte made with oat milk and put some honey in it. It's really good. I like it. It's a nice little caffeine boost for the afternoon, but it's actually low caffeine. I thought it was medium caffeine. So it's not as high caffeine as drinking coffee would be. So like my dark chocolate orange is actually a medium caffeine one as well. And I think the oolong is a low caffeine one too. This one's caffeine free. I just like showing off my little octopus. I was thinking about moving to England, but I ran into a bit of a problem. I don't like tea. I mean, actually, you can get by in England just fine without drinking tea, but I mean, tea is a big deal over there. I picked up most of my tea habits after England, so I can't really talk. I think my tea should be brewed now, so I'm going to go grab it out of the steeper, and when I get back, I will do another sprint, because I assume that that's most of you are actually here for. For those that don't know, we're doing a story for the 22 Stories in 2022 project, story number 7. The writing prompt is You Know What They Say About Family, and we're writing in the Maids universe, which is the working title for one of the settings in my multiverse. And the main character that we're focusing on, the characters that we're focusing on today are Sibel and Elian, 2 characters I haven't really written about a lot in on stream yet. And they're commiserating about high society balls for anyone who missed that earlier. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back with tea. The good news is, AJ, that when you go to England, they do not ask you at customs if you drink tea. So you're not required to drink it. They won't, like, bar you from entering the country or kick you out if you don't like tea. That said, they do drink it a lot. And, I mean, they do have coffee over there, but they drink a lot of instant coffee. Maybe it's changed now from when we were over there, which was quite a few years ago now. But, yeah, I mean, you're not required to drink it. You might get offered it a lot. People might eye you a little strangely if you say you don't like tea, but they won't deport you. I almost said export, but I guess if you're a crate, they would export you. All right. No more yawns, because now I have some tea. I'm going to put 20 minutes back on the clock, as promised, and dig back into this story. I fumbled around with the opening bit, but I think I've sort of found where I want to be, so let's see if this part goes a little bit more smoothly. Ooh, restart the timer. I wasn't ready. Enjoy your lurk, AJ. I hope you're not getting any more weather phenomenon. Hey Kiki, welcome back. I'm glad you're editing. And how are you feeling? I remember the last time you were here, you were recovering from having eaten some pine nuts accidentally. Are you and your little one feeling better, I hope? Good, I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Shagraz, I was wondering if you were going to show up today for the maid's story. You are also working. Oh, you hate the maid story or the work? Is your day almost over at least? I mean, hopefully we can provide a chill background for while you're working, but the work, I feel you. It's Thursday afternoon. I'm ready to be done with work too. Maids, yes. Oh no, you're not close to the end of your work day? Do you work from home, Shagraz, or do you work in an office? Home? Oh, well, that's nice at least. I mean, at least if you have a lot of work ahead of you, you're hopefully able to be slightly more comfortable. But I was gonna say, if you have to stay, like, extra in an office to get your work done, that kind of sucks. I mean, it still sucks that you have a lot of work to do. That's gonna suck either way, but I'd rather work from home than have to stay late in an office. Not that I've ever worked in an office, but I'd imagine I'd hate it. And there's just something about being in your own space, about being able to dress the way you want to dress, about, like, if, hopefully, I don't know what your job is, but hopefully, like, if you need a 10-minute break, just being able to walk away, take a 10-minute break, come back, you know. To me, I always find that it's so much easier if I have control over those little things versus having to be away from home and having to commute and being like, oh, I have to work for 3 more hours and then I have to drive an hour to get home, right? It's just such a pain. Still here and still alive? Glad to hear it, Al. Are you working on anything today? What are you up to? Working on my writing? Nice! Yeah, no problem. My timer has ended, so let's see how many words we did on that sprint. Many more than the first sprint, I do believe, because I certainly feel like I was much more focused on the writing that time. The words did not fight me as much. I'm gonna say it's because of the tea. 1,048 words on that sprint. Heck yeah! And 1,777 altogether. I definitely have at least one more sprint to do. I think I probably have about 1,000 words at least left in this. And then if that doesn't bring me to the end, I'll probably just have to write a little bit to wrap up. But I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I was worried at first because the beginning was so rough. But I've definitely found my subject matter settled into the character that is narrating. Sibel isn't a character that I've written a lot from his perspective, so probably part of the reason why it was a little harder to get into character today was because it was unfamiliar territory. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying how this is going. I cut some words. Nice. Yeah, you have to do that with editing, sadly. I cut a lot of words yesterday. I don't know if anyone was in yesterday's stream. Well, I know Shagraz was, and I know Wolf was. But I cut a lot of words yesterday. I added a lot too. But I cut a lot. There's a lot of things that I wrote that will never see the light of day, but it happens sometimes. I'm not going to take a full break. I'm not going to like go into BRB mode, but I am just going to pop because I've drunk down to where my tea warmer will handle the tea in my mug better. So I'm just going to pop up Annoyed Domerin for a hot second here. Just for everyone's entertainment. He can glare at what I'm writing because he's not in it. And I'm just going to reheat my tea quick, and I'll be back. I am right there. Oops. There we go. Unlurk. Got some cranberry Gouda cheese. Oh my gosh. Roaming Witch. That sounds amazing. Did you pick that up on the way home, or did you have it in your fridge already and now you're eating it? Either way, it sounds delicious. Again, some of the names of these songs. One of them is called Lazy House, and one of them is called Magic Plate. Interesting. We had it in the fridge and just broke it out for snacks tonight. Nice! That sounds like a cheese that Ghost would really like. I would like it too, but it would murder me, but Ghost would really like it. I'm on the part that Alice's mom is kidnapped by a hunter which she's working for. Ooh, interesting. Those sound like the best name. I know. I mean, I was saying earlier, I think they mostly name these songs just like whatever because they're just like stream-free music. Whoops. But yeah, you can see like the names of them. You can see all my playlists on the side there, but... Oh no, I'm not supposed to be yawning now that I have tea. Yeah, I just find it funny what some of the names are. Knights and Cars. One of them is called Tonal Balance Life. my goodness. Tea. Oh yeah, I flipped this up before when I wasn't ready, and I didn't give the whole spiel. On Monday, this lovely book right here, The War for Freedom, the 7th book in the Eternity's Empire series, the penultimate, next to last book, will go live. It will be, so Sunday night at midnight. You can download the ebook, and the paperback will be available. I'm going to be finishing that up tomorrow and uploading it. If you hit the new release command, you can check that out. Or if you hit the Eternity command, you can see information on and links to the full series. The first 6 books are already available, and if you prefer to have less to keep up on than 7 books, you can pop over to my regular Amazon store, and you can click on Eternity's Empire Part 1. It has the first 4 books all under one cover. You can get that in ebook or in paperback if you want a big, thick coffee table version of the book, if that's easier to keep up with. And that's happening on Monday. And on Wednesday, I haven't talked a lot about this, but I should. On Wednesday, we're going to be playing a little game on stream called Myth Truths. It's going to be in the evening. It's going to be me. It's going to be my good friends, Flutterdye, It's Woof, and Vinyl Stencil. I'll give them all shout outs in a second here. They're going to be joining me. I am going to present them with a bunch of scenarios, potentially from the historical mythical past. So basically going to be quoting mythological stories, and they will have to decide if it is a myth truth or a myth conception. And we'll be seeing if they can spot the true myths from the ones that I just make up off the top of my head. And I'm hoping what will happen as a result of that is that we'll talk about how bizarre some mythologies really are, because there are some crazy mythological stories out there. So that's going to be next Wednesday evening, probably around 8 p.m. PST. That'll be Wednesday the 20th. Let me give some people shout-outs. Shout out Flutterdye. Shout out It's Woof. And shout out Vinyl Stencil, as Ghost likes to say when he is doing one of his accents. So they'll be joining me. Ghost won't be here, sadly, because he's going to be out of town. So, you know, I'll have to be pouring my own drinks, but that's fine. So that's going to be happening. It'll be only my second ever event stream, but I'm really looking forward to it. Eternity's Empire is my mythological magical girls series. It's based very heavily in mythology. So it'll be really interesting to talk about some of the myths, both some of the ones that appear in the series and some of the ones that don't appear in the series. I'm a student of different mythologies. I just love stories that people have told throughout history. And there might be, so I'm setting this up so chat will be able to play the game as well. You'll be able to keep your own score. And there might be a lightning trivia round at some point, which involves non-true or false mythology-based trivia. So if you're interested in that, join me next week. I will so be there. If I'm not feel free to yell at me and spam me, yeah, I can try to tag you on the Discord for sure if you want. There is a role on the Pepper Patch Discord for writers. For anyone who has not joined the Discord, I share my husband's Discord, the Pepper Patch. There is a Strikers Library section. I think there's a section for roles, reaction roles, and you might have to scroll up a little bit, but there is a reaction role for writers. It is the little book one in the initial thing there. I can for sure tag the writer's tag when I go live for that, so that anyone who's interested will get a notification on Discord. I'll try to keep mentioning it. I'm planning to stream Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. So it'll be Monday and Tuesday during the day and then Wednesday in the evening, because I'm going to have another one of those weeks where I have to sort of do everything at the beginning of the week to leave the end of the week open. So hopefully there'll be a lot more reminders. I'm really excited about it. I'm actually going to sit down and write all the questions tomorrow morning. I have my whole morning set aside to just listen to chill music and put together true and false myth-related questions. So it's hopefully going to be possibly a little less crazy than the OTP stream was, but hopefully it will be crazy. And as I was saying earlier, for anyone who missed that Make Your OTP stream, it is on my YouTube channel. You can actually watch it in all its glory. The first 10 minutes is a sound check. I apologize. Oh, new subscriber, AJ the Crate. That's awesome. Thank you so much, AJ. So yeah, my YouTube channel isn't very large. It's mostly just the stories, the 22 stories in 2022. But I do have my day planner stream from back in December is up there, and my special event streams go up there as well. So if you do miss the myth truth myth conception stream, it will go up on YouTube. But I'm hoping that people will come play the game live. I'm setting it up, like I said, specifically so that chat can play the game too. You can keep your own score and see if you can outscore my guests. So that's the thing. Just wanted to remember that this is that this is going out. I can't really believe that it's the next to last book in the series. And actually, this morning I finished editing the first chapter in the last book. There are 5 chapters in every Eternity's Empire book, but book 8, the last book, has 6 chapters. And now I only have 5 chapters left to edit before the whole series is ended. So, big feels. I will outscore all your guests. Don't worry. I hope you can, Shagraz. You gotta be there. You gotta be there to sass people if you're beating them in score, and to find out how crazy mythology is in general. But there's no hope. So I take it you know a lot about different mythologies, Shagraz. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that, you can pre-order it, or you can wait until it comes out if you're catching up on the series. Also, all of my books are available on Kindle Unlimited, so if you subscribe to the Kindle Unlimited service, you can read my books absolutely free, and I do get paid for it. Just make sure at some point, either during or after reading the book, you turn your device on so that it can sync online. And I do receive payment for that. A lot of people ask, and I like to make sure people know. I do get paid for that. It is less than if you buy the book, but it is still appreciated. I do not mind how people access my books, and I appreciate that people do care about the author being paid for the reading of their work. So that is 100% a thing that happens. Anything that is on Kindle Unlimited, the author does get paid for you reading for however many pages you read. So there you go. Apparently, this one is 244 pages. I like this little, I like this little thing, little details thing that it puts on there. I'm more specialized, but I can beat those fools. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope you didn't just call Vinyl a fool. I know how Flutter and Woof would feel about that. I don't actually know how Vinyl would feel about being called a fool. She's the biggest of the fools? Gasp. Gasp. I'm excited that people are excited about it because I do a lot of studying for those. Like, I look up a lot of information about myths for those books. I actually, this morning while I was editing, had to pause for like 10 minutes and look up a detail to make sure that I hadn't gotten it wrong. And I had a moment where I couldn't initially, like, I couldn't confirm as quickly as I wanted to what I was trying to express in the story. So I took some time to go to go on a little bit of a deep dive to make sure that I hadn't just miswritten something or remembered something wrong. So I do actually do research for those books, and it'll be fun to share some of the research that I have done, and to do a little extra to just fill out the game. Because some of the mythologies in those books are very popular mythologies, such as Greek and Roman, and some of them are less well known, such as ancient Egyptian. The Norse stuff is probably a bit better known, but there's some Hindu mythology in there as well, some Shinto mythology. So it will be fun to see which mythologies people know the most about. I'm also talking to her right now and she's okay with it. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Shagraz. Thank you for clarifying that Vinyl is okay with being sassed. You are the sass master, though, so it does make sense. Shagraz gonna sass. You can't stop a sass master from sassing. Me, I am going to turn on that sprint timer and do another 20 minutes of clicky clacking, and see if I'm able to get to the end of this little short. For anyone who missed it earlier, this is the 7th story in my 22 stories in 2022 project. All of the stories come from prompts that I've found online. Today's prompt is You Know What They Say About Family, which we haven't gotten to that part of the story yet, but we're going to get there. I set basically 2 rules for myself. My pinky got in there somehow. 2 rules for myself when I did this project. 1, I wanted them all to be canon within the multiverse that all of my stories take place in. And 2, I wanted to avoid featuring main characters that can be mentioned or hanging out in the background, but I don't want them to be the focus of the story. This story takes place in my Maid's universe, which is a working title for one of my settings. And it features Sibel, who is the head maid of the household, and high society balls. So there we go. See ya in 20, Shagraz. Good luck. And to anyone else who's working, good luck to you too. Wait. Okay. Wait, do you want me to stop the sprint timer? Okay. Waiting. Yeah. High society balls. That's what we're writing about right now. Sibel is lamenting high society balls. If there are like 10 clips of me saying high society balls at the end of this stream, I don't know what. You may bone Jin? Alright, let's bone Jin. Let's do it. Chair is not where I want it to be. There we go. How I deleted it and Deleted the word and then typed it exactly the same way, expecting it to be spelled right. Lol. very close to the end of this scene. I'm just not entirely sure how I want to end it. I did stop mid-dialogue here. I'll pop a quotation mark there just in case I don't end up having him say more. I think we started... I think I started there. So 932 words, pretty good, for a total of 2,709, which is right around the area of how long I expected this would be. I'm pretty much just trying to decide how I want to draw this to a close. I think I've covered all of the things that I really wanted them to talk about. Including the, you know what they say about family. So I kind of just have to decide what tone I want to end on. Sort of going for, Sibel is sort of, really down on himself because, he's been out of high society for a long time, and many of the people sort of in high society who are going to be at this ball, don't like him, and so disparage him and whisper things about him behind his back. And so Elian is sort of trying to tell him that it doesn't matter what those people say, that those people spread rumors about him because of jealousy. And that really all that matters is the people that Sibel care about, because haters gonna hate, not in those exact words. So I just sort of have to, I think I kind of want the conclusion to be Sibel getting just a little bit more of that self-confidence, because usually Sibel's a very confident person, especially in his work, but this is sort of outside his comfort zone. So I sort of want to make it a little more his comfort zone, to have sort of a positive affirmation at the end of the work. I don't think it's going to be very long. I don't even know if I'll need a full sprint to finish it. But sometimes it's easier for me to think of this stuff if I pop AFK. It's sometimes easier for me to think about what I want to actually do. And where's the sprint emote? Oh, I should have a sprint emote. I didn't even think of that. I will put it on my list of things to have in the future. I've kind of sort of stopped with emote stuff, in part because I don't have budget right now. I haven't actually earned enough from my Twitch yet to actually pay for another round of emotes, sadly. And I like to have the money up front to pay the artist, so I'm kind of cooling my jets on that. But I should be getting close to having streamed enough to unlock the follower emotes on my channel, so I've kind of been waiting for that as well, because I should be able to get the auto approval for uploads soon as well. So hopefully that will make it a little easier to put out some new emotes when I do get the budget for it. But yeah, I hadn't even thought of us having a sprint emote. That's a good idea. Gotta go fast. Sitting here mapping out the background prison where Alice's mom is going to be, so she will have a guest down with her. Interesting. Interesting. It's good to have an idea of where everything is, for sure. I actually, speaking of maps, it's going to be a while before I actually write out this, the book that this Maids is, the working title for. But on Pinterest, let me find it, because I actually pinned, a reference for the house. Where's my writing references? Let's see if I can find it. It might not be in references. It might be in, I mean, I guess I can show this on screen because people can follow my, people can follow my Pinterest account. It's not like it's private. But somewhere I have here, I actually pinned this, to give me some idea of, like, what actually a, like, rich person's mansion, like, what the floor plan layout would be. So, yeah, I actually have this to use as, like, a reference for when I actually put it together. And there are a bunch of different ones on here, too. Like, this one is a 2-floor one, it looks like. So it's really helpful to have stuff like that to know, like, where, this one too, for the same purpose, right? Some idea of, like, what the house would look like, and what the like courtyard and grounds would look like. Did the same thing with my mansion and had fun with it. Yeah, it's super cool to, like, get a layout for everything. I probably have to do this for my novel too, because, more and more of the story is starting to take place in the palace, so at some point I need to sit down and, like, map out what the wings of the palace are and, like, what is actually in between them, so that there's, like, a unified, because I have a picture of it in my head, but I need, like, a unified description for it. So yeah, I have a bunch of different things on Pinterest. These are, my more, like, generic, I don't have boards for these ideas yet. I just pinned this because I think it looks cool. I would love to have a character who wore that as an outfit. And so yeah, whenever I'm looking for a new idea, I just sort of, why don't authors ever include a map of places and their worlds? I mean, I try to put maps, in my books. There are maps in the Celestial Serenade books, for sure. I would love to have, like, a house, like a mansion map when I get to the Maids universe. I think that would be super cool. But yeah, I just kind of scroll through here whenever. I guess I should show you guys. So this is the board for for the novel that I've been writing, on stream. So I actually have some of the settings, here. This is the capital where a lot of the story takes place, and also pins for the palace in here as well. It's supposed to be a sort of London-esque city. So there's a lot of old juxtaposed with new. I have a few here too. Like, I thought something like this might be like a dwarven style house. Because they might favor, like, different types of things. I love Pinterest too. I try not to get lost down a hole on Pinterest, but I do enjoy looking at things there. Also, I think more people don't include maps because making maps is hard. Like, making an actual map that looks nice, it actually takes a very long time. And lots of people either don't have the skill or don't have the money to hire someone who does have the skill. And having drawn a few maps myself, I can say that it is not easy. And then, of course, I have characters from the book, as well. The main character is not in here, but his boyfriendo, Crescent, has his own. This is, I think, my favorite Crescent pin. Crescent is a shifter, so he has a human form and a cat form. So I like having these pins because if I ever need to come up with an outfit for Crescent, I'll just come look at his board. I feel like I've had him wear something like this in the novel a couple times. I just can't decide where I want to put things whenever I try to draw a map for my story. Again, it's harder than it sounds, right? And I don't always have exact things. Like, I actually have a written, like, exact map of, like, Crescent's apartment and Domrin's apartment. But some of my other stuff is a little more vague. But yeah, so this is Crescent's board. He has a lot of anime Catboy pins, of course, because he's a feline shifter. And then I have Clara doesn't have a lot of pins yet because it's hard to find. It's hard to find pins that are what I want for her. Oh, and then we have Greg, who I also don't have a ton of pins for, but I really like the pins that I have for him. So, and then I also, because Dameron has more than one setting that he's in, he gets his own board. So he has quite a massive board. And then I have fashion, which is like things that he would wear. So sometimes he disagrees with me on what he would wear, so some things that I would like him to wear are not actually in his pin board because he wouldn't wear them. But so this is my Dameron board. My sweet Grumpus. And this actually encompasses all of the different settings, so some of these are more for one series than another. Here, this is a pin. Dameron would never dress like this, but I liked it so much that I put it in there. Screw him. I'm in charge sometimes. Sometimes I'm in charge. Not every picture is completely accurate to his appearance, but if something feels like it works for him, I usually pin it. So also there are some Dameron and cat pins because, you know, Crescent. Even though Crescent isn't like a house-sized cat, you know, he gotta be in there sometimes. So, as you can see with the scrolling, there's a lot of, there's a lot in this one. Can we see Dameron's board? Yes! It's quite large. I didn't miss you completely. Hey, Authirid! I just almost called you Anderson, and then I almost called you Sanderson, and then... It is Anderson, though. I was like, that's not right. Wait. Hey, Angie, how are you? Have yet to find any characters on Pinterest that accurately represents my character. Yeah, some, like, Dameron's board I sort of have rules for, so I'm like, if it feels like something that really suits him, something that he would actually wear, or something that fits his character, or something that looks like him, then I'll put it. But if I look at it and I don't get, like, an overall Dameron feel, and it doesn't look close enough to him, like, sometimes it looks like him, but it doesn't feel like it fits him, so I don't put it on there. Yeah, this picture, there's a funny story. This is probably the most accurate Dameron picture in my collection. I'll move it down a little bit. Yeah, we can tell that I'm doing real great with words today. Like, that I tripped over someone's name that I, like, actually know and interact with. How are you? Have you gotten any writing done today? I am doing writing. We're just taking a bit of a break right now. I'm actually almost done with the story, so I'm taking a little bit of a longer break. But I was scrolling through Tumblr one day, and I, like, stopped dead on this photo, and I was like, oh my god, Dameron? Because this is, like, the most accurate to my vision of him in my head picture of Dameron that exists in the world. And I was like, I had a moment where I was like, is he an actual real person? Did he, like, actually come to life at some point while I wasn't paying attention? Like, what is happening? So yeah, this is, like, the most, aside from the stubble, because, Elf Dameron can't grow stubble, this is probably the most accurate image of what Dameron looks like in my head. Without the elf ears and the scar, of course. So, but you can tell that he's a character that, use quite extensively. And like this one is a picture of someone that doesn't exactly look like Damarin, but the bike. So I put it in there because of the bike. Because it was like something that suited him really well. And there's a lot of black and white ones because, you know, it could be any color. So yeah, and shirtless, because even if Damarin doesn't want to be shirtless, I like him that way. Whatever. He's not my boss. So that's a whirlwind tour of Damarin's Pinterest board. This is like straight out of a scene from the novel, actually. So yeah, and then the other one, I mean, I actually have Pinterest boards for all of my novels, but the other one that you guys might be interested in is my Symphony of the Stars board, because this is the Celestial Serenade board. So we have the Kalteran Empire. We have specifically Alteris, the capital. I only have a few pins for Yagalareris, because you don't see a lot of it. But I have a lot of characters. Salus has 61 pins, as opposed to Anton's 27 pins, poor boy. We have Alrea and Gaia. And of course we have my sweet boy Liam, who also unfortunately doesn't have a lot of pins, because it's hard to capture the anger that is Liam accurately. But yeah, and then of course Salus, my sweet boy Salus, has a lot of pins. This is good content. Jealousy found the perfect character image. It was a total accident, and when I found it again on Pinterest, it felt like fate. It shocked me that it was like a photo, like that there's a guy out there in the world who looks exactly like I imagine Damarin, and if I ever met him, I think I would be completely tongue-tied. But yes, we have there's a lot of peacock stuff in the Salus board because the animal that he's associated with is a peacock. So pardon the amount of peacock things that are in here, but I really like this one because this is like how, again, it's a photo of someone that's like how I imagine Salus, like quite a lot. And I love that I have found, whoops, that's not what we wanted. I love that I've actually found like so many pictures of guys that are not necessarily like rugged and dressed in like a traditional masculine way, because Salus dresses in what would be considered a more traditional feminine way. And I love just finding pictures. Yeah, this is Salus's board, Chagraz. This is like a scene in the novel, so it's not exactly an accurate like picture of the character, but it represents a scene in the novel. And of course I just pin a lot of peacock stuff for him because he's got to have peacock clothes. Slightly inaccurate image, but again, a scene sort of from the novel. Some of the stuff is like from the novel. And some of it is just, that seems like it would be him. There's a lot of pictures of him with Cantus as well. I didn't want to make a separate Salus and Cantus board, so all of the two of them together pictures are just in Salus's board, and Cantus has a separate board. Hey, Vinyl! How are you? Some guys can pull off long hair and jewelry way better than I can. Like, seriously, tell me about it. Like, this guy's so pretty, and I love it. I would look at so many pictures. So yeah, and like this isn't like necessarily accurate to how Salus looks, but it suits him as the picture. So yeah, I have some duplicates. I liked that picture so much that I pinned it twice. And I have a lot of these. A lot of these are like Korean anime and manga pictures, but they just, like, that's how Salas dresses, so it just suits him really well. Another peacock outfit, because he's got to have, like, all the peacock outfits. Again, this one doesn't really look like Salas, but it looked like something he would wear, so I pinned it. This was actually my original, this is funny because this was my original inspiration from Salas. This is from Tsubasa. I'm blanking on the name of the character, but this was from Tsubasa, and this was my original inspiration for Salas. When I started writing him, this was the image that I had in my mind, minus the elf ears, of course. It's called Manhwa. What's called Manhwa? I clearly need to vamp my character. This is something that I've been doing on and off for a couple years. So, like, and as you can clearly see, some of my characters have a lot of pins. Like, Salas has a fuck ton of pins, and then some of my characters have, like, 5 pins because I haven't been able to find things for them. But Salas has a lot of pins, for sure. There's this guy again. Like, come on. Seriously. This I find very sexy. I'm just putting it out there. Anyone who's like, when I see a man dressed in a feminine manner, I don't find it sexy. What's wrong with you? I find it very sexy. So yeah, those are some of my boards. And then we have, like, Anton only has, like, a handful of pins because it's hard to find things that I feel, like, suit him really well. He's not very, like, he doesn't express emotion very often, so it's hard to find guys with long hair that just look emotionless. But not, like, evil emotionless, but, like, stoic emotionless, if that makes sense. So yeah. Like, some of them have more pins than others, and then I have pins that don't really fit anywhere yet, so they're just kind of hanging out there. I don't really know what this is supposed to be. It was just cool. Ghost Pepper needs to get him fancy Japanese robe and grow out the hair. I wouldn't be opposed. If any of you all haven't heard about Ladybeard, just look up Ladybeard. He's amazing. I love him. So yeah, this is my pin board, and since you guys seem to be enjoying this, the 2 characters that I'm working with today are Sibel and Elian, who actually do have a couple of pins. Not for this specific setting, but this is an idea of what Sibel looks like. It's very, very hard to find guys with short hair and an eye patch, so he has an eye, and he has both eyes in some of the pictures. I think this is probably the most accurate one. I mean, he's not an elf and his hair isn't quite as curly, but he does at least have the eye patch. This one, although I don't know if Sibel smokes, but it was an eye patch picture, so, you know, few and far between. And then this is my sweet boy Elian. So he's a little bit easier to find pictures for because he's a little bit more like traditional fantasy image. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to pin the Sibel smoking picture because it had an eye patch, and there's so few eye patch pictures. How's it going? It's going pretty good, Vinyl. Actually, the writing has been going pretty well. I'm almost done with the scene, actually. I just need to... I was going to actually take a quick break and then come back and finish it off, because I just need to sort of decide where I want it to end. But now we've fallen down the Pinterest hole. How are you, Vinyl? What are you up to today? So yeah, this is Elian. He's a little bit more like what you would traditionally think of for just like an elf. Also, I'm just putting this out there, you know, picture that, you know, or this, also same concept, but he's basically, you know, your blonde-haired, green-eyed elf, sweet and sassy. So yeah, That's a little bit of my Pinterest board. If anyone's interested, I'm Starborn Striker on Pinterest. I think there's a link in my about section here on Twitch if you want to check it out. And some of my characters have a lot of pins, and some of them don't. One character that I really struggle to find pins for, in my Once Upon a Dream, in my Aravalia Chronicles, is Sesha. Basically, all of his pins are inaccurate because I have yet to find, except for maybe that one, but I've yet to find, and that one, I've yet to find a lot of really good pictures with a guy with long black hair and black wings. I can't take credit for Sesha's name, actually. It's Woof was the one who named him, but I agree that I love his name. Scrubbed a dress for an eternity and also had a very traumatic diaper changing experience. Oh no! Wait, the dress... I'm assuming the dress and the diaper weren't related to each other. Because that would be awful. But I hope the dress is done now. I hope it doesn't need any more cleaning. Look, okay, I found, like, 2 pictures of him that are, like, accurate. But it's very hard. So most of his pins are, here's what he looks like, and here's what his wings look like. Oh, and here's him in doctor scrubs, because he's a doctor in this setting, you know. Oh, good. The dress and the diaper were separate events. Thank goodness. I mean, I assumed that you would never let a dress near a diaper, but my brain instantly clicked them together. The dress is rinsing out right now. I hope it's done. Fingers crossed, because it sounds like you spent a lot of time on it already. I know had a shitty experience. It sounds like, yeah. You can tell us as much or as little about the diaper experience as you want. But yeah, so Sesha's really hard to find pins for. Dahmer, pretty easy to find pins for. Maybe a little too easy to find pins for. And then, of course, I have my other character that has, like, 1,000,000 pins is Rose, because she's my original character. This is probably my favorite one. I think this is, like, the most accurate depiction of her. But she also has, like, 1,000,000 pins. Because, again, she has a whole fashion section, too, for, like, her hair and her dresses and stuff. But she's been around a long time, so she has a lot of pins. So... And again, I have rules for, like, what I pin. Some of them are, like, accurate to how she looks. Some of them are more accurate to, like, her attitude or, like, things she would wear or inspirations for her. Like, there are a couple pictures of Luna, the human Luna from Sailor Moon, because she was one of my inspirations. Again, she's a cat shifter, so there are a couple shifter pictures in here. She has a lot of witchy pins, a lot of princessy pins, a couple of peacock pins because I found them while I was looking for the Salis peacock outfits. So yeah, just... And these are helpful because if I'm really struggling to describe something, I can just flip on my Pinterest and be like, oh hey, I have a dress that I want this character to wear, or I have a shirt that I want this character to wear. She's pretty. Aw, thank you. Rose I have a soft spot for because she was like my first character that I made when I was a baby back in high school, just scribbling, and she's sort of evolved into something much more interesting. And in the Aravalia Chronicles, she actually, instead of having regular, like, eyes, her eyes actually look like a starry night sky. So there are a lot of things where it's very disconcerting, like, to be the center of her gaze because she doesn't have, like, pupils. She just... So, I mean, it's not like a blank stare. Star Etra, thank you so much for the follow. Inhaled my own saliva there. Thank you so much. How are you? What are you up to? I am forever unclean. I was changing my niece's diaper and some poo flung up and landed on my face. Oh no, that sounds horrible. Did you take a shower? Because I feel like I would have hopped, like, directly in the shower after that. I mean, Everybody has like a story. Everybody who's been around kids has a story of like poo or pee ending up flying across the room, but I don't know that I've ever heard one where it landed on their face. That would have been not fun. Oh no! Well, I hope you've been able to shower now, or at least give yourself a good scrub. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It's just I know how gross that probably made you feel. I know, like, I've done things like clean out the fridge from, like, because every now and then we forget something in the back of the fridge and it rots, and I end up being the one to clean it out, and I just after that I like surgery scrub my hands, and it's like I know my hands are clean, but I just want to feel clean. I didn't inhale it. Oh, chagras. But I did go scrub twice. Yeah, fair. What are you working on, Star Etra, if you don't mind my asking? I've been working on a little short. We are just about to wrap it up. I know I let myself get distracted for like 40 minutes there, but it happens. I'm going to pop AFK for a quick bio break, reheat my tea, and then I'm going to come back and we might do a short sprint, just a 10-minute one, because I think I only need 10 or 15 minutes to finish this. But yeah, I'm going to do my last round of clicky clackies for the day. But at least you guys know what some of these characters in my head that I'm always talking about and writing about look like now. Yes, thank you for coming to hang out with us, Star Etra. I very much appreciate it. Normally I try not to go down a Pinterest hole, but it happened, so... There's nothing to be done about it now. Ooh, a second paranormal romance in the series. That sounds awesome! I love paranormal romance. Or paranormal, like my brain decided it is, I guess. Feel free to tell us about your project if you want, Star Etra. Like I said, I'm just gonna pop AFK quick. I should be back in about 2 minutes. All right, as I suspected, walking away from the computer gave me what I needed to know where I want this to end. I don't think it's going to be more than a couple hundred words, so we're probably going to do a 10-minute sprint. Ghost is going to be home a bit late today, so I can run a bit over without needing to feed Ghost like we needed to run off to feed Ghost yesterday. Thank you, Vinyl. So yeah, but we'll do a 10-minute sprint, and then we'll find someone to raid so that when Ghost is on the way home, I'll be able to cook some dinner for him. Yesterday he came home from work and was like, my stream was running late, and I was like, should I keep going? And he was like, by the way, I didn't eat lunch. And I was like, hey, I guess I should go feed my husband. Oh, werewolves. The first book in the series was a werewoman running from domineering, abusive weremen who took over her pack. She meets another wereman who she falls in love with, but in that story, the love interest's sister is kidnapped, but they think she just went on a bender. Because she's a drug addict and alcoholic. The domineering, abusive wereman has her kidnapped, and it's revealed in the first book, but addressed in the second. Okay. No, I asked about your project. That's perfectly fine. I personally like when romance series like follow, like sometimes they go from like this couple to that couple, but I like it when there's like a through line through the whole series, if that makes sense, right? Like the story continues even if it sometimes focuses on different characters, because I'm a series reader myself. I really like to dig in deep and get information about like who these people are and what's going on in their lives and updates for what happened later. Yeah, exactly. Novels are what this channel is about. So absolutely. I know I tend to write series as well. On my earlier in the week streams and on most of my regular streams, I'm working on book 4 in a series that currently has 9 books written, but only 3 books edited. So yeah, I'm definitely a like dig your fingers in, long-term, follow people for a while kind of writer myself. This that I'm working on right now is just a quick little short that'll go up on my blog, exploring some characters for a project that I haven't started yet. But it's been super fun to write this. And I'm going to stop talking now and do a sprint and finish it up. It is a lot of future editing, for sure. I basically write in trilogies, and so I draft cycle. So I'll write 3 books. I'll set them aside. I'll edit the previous 3 books. I'll set that aside. I'll polish the books that just came back from my beta readers, and then I go back and write 3 more books, and then I go back and edit, and so on and so forth. And so when I get to the end of a series, I just kind of start the next series and continue the cycle. I can tell you that Alice's mom is going to fall in love with the unknown guest. Ooh, that's in the same room with her. Ooh, but Alice won't like it. Ooh, I like this drama, Kiki. All right. Oh, my sprint timer's already running. My goodness. Let's use this one. It's going to say time for words at the end, but that's fine. I know I keep spelling that word wrong, but it's because I want it to insert the accents anyway, so just being a little lazy because I don't want to put the accents in manually. I did it! Perfect. So that was another 473 words for a total of 3,182 total. Usually aim for anywhere between 2,000 and 3,000 for these shorts, so that's perfect. It does everything that I wanted it to do, and I feel like it suits the prompt. And I feel like it was a bit more of a creative interpretation of the prompt than some of my more recent ones have been. So I'm pleased with that. I'm gonna let that sprint timer run down, but I'm probably gonna look for someone to raid. Because as I said, I do want to get ready to cook dinner as soon as I get a message from Ghost letting me know that he is on the way home. He's had a long week this week, so yeah. It's they're like finally getting back to school sports post-COVID, and so there's a lot of things he hasn't done in a few years that I think he's sort of starting to remember how much work some of those things are. Let's see who's around today. Who haven't we dropped in on in a while? Weird One is around. I have not dropped in on them in a while. Travis is around. Sit through some ads. Well, I think Travis is just starting out. Looks like he might be writing some today. Let's see. Oh, he's got some cat cam going on. I think he's just getting set up for the day. Let's drop in on him. Haven't said hi to him in a bit. And we did a friend raid yesterday, so we'll do a writing community raid today. And that way, people who are writing or working can continue working on, oops, I turned on timer over timer, can continue to get some work done. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I know I went on a few tangents and got a little bit distracted, but I hope you all got some writing done or some work done, as it were, depending on what you're working on. I'm certainly happy with what I got finished. And I didn't mind getting a little distracted at the end there because I knew it was pretty much done. This is it for me until next week. I will be around, I think, thinking about what I have to edit in the novel. I haven't set my schedule in stone. It will be below in the About section. I have actually 2 schedule areas where I update my stream schedule. One is the little About section and one is the schedule section, so it will be official in there when the time slot is, but I'll also announce it on the Discord. No, Shograz, we're gonna raid someone who's also working, so it's fine. I think you'll like Travis Tavern if you haven't hung out with him before. Also, I'll still be around. I just won't be streaming. Yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm sorry that I can't stick around longer. I have to it's one of my nights to cook, so I have to go get that done. I don't like new people. I feel you, Shagraz. Like I said, I'll still be working. I'll be on Discord if you need a pal to hang out with, for sure. But I believe I will be back Monday afternoon at this time slot again, 2:30 p.m. doing some edits on my Aravalia Chronicles. I'm probably going to do Monday and Tuesday streams next week, like I said, to so that I can keep the second half of the week open. Wednesday, I'm going to be doing my Myth Conceptions stream with It's Woof, Flutterdye, and Vinyl Stencil. So come check that out in the evening. Remember that my new book goes live Monday. Not new book, new release. My new book goes live Monday. It'll be Sunday at midnight, actually. You'll be able to get the ebook and order the paperback. So that will happen before I see you guys again. So check that out. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. It's always cool to hang out with you guys. I'm gonna trigger the raid. If you have the emotes, please feel free to use them. Otherwise, there's another raid call. And a quick look at our right tip of the day. God, it never updates my right tips for some reason. I know for a fact that I changed that and saved it. So the actual right tip for the day is, you don't have to listen to anyone else's writing advice. Only listen to writing advice that makes sense and feels right to you. Everyone's going to have an opinion about how you should do something. Most of the time they can tell you something that's not working, but they might not be able to tell you how to fix it right. Only you know your story enough to make an informed decision about what to do in that story. So you don't have to follow the rules. You don't have to listen to other people. Make the decision that feels the best for your piece of work, and don't let anyone steal your confidence. Have a good weekend, my friends. I love you all. I will hopefully see you all on Monday. Take care.